the ultimate safe, rinseless wash.
What does that even mean?
It means that we don't need to rinse the vehicle off. If you're in a drought situation, this one's for you. And even if you're not in a drought situation, just a faster, easier, and safer way of cleaning your car.
Hey Ivan, there's no way a rinseless wash can be safe. That's what people are saying out there.
Exactly, and it is safe. Technology working for us. You know, I used to dial the phone.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
With a rotary dial. And technology is advanced. Now I reach into my pocket, I got a phone in my pocket that's a computer that does everything else. Technology is advanced in the way we clean cars as well. And that is what a rinseless is. It's allowing us to clean the car safely without a need for excessive amounts of water.
You know what's nice and convenient? Easy to understand? This is actually called rinseless wash.
Exactly. It does what it says.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you can use a pressure washer. Now the car behind us, beautiful Porsche, it's not really that dirty. And we get the comment a lot on YouTube and all the social media that you're cleaning a clean car. Well, it has just dust on it. But if you are cleaning a dirty car, we're going to explain to you how to do that in conjunction with the pressure washer.
And I want to say that rinseless wash is a phenomenal way to wash your car.
Right.
But if you have caked on mud and a super nasty vehicle, you definitely want to use a pressure washer.
Yeah, you definitely want to use some form of running water. You can use a hose as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're still only going to be using the rinseless. We're not going to be using soap.
Okay.
So first off, we'll get rid of the second bucket.
Wait.
We don't need a 2-bucket method.
Just one bucket for the paint and one bucket for the wheels.
Exactly.
Okay.
And in here, it's 1/2 ounce to a gallon. It just so happens that our lid is 1/2 ounce. So it makes the dilution a lot easier.
So how many gallons do we have in here?
We have 4 gallons of water, so 4 capfuls.
Okay. 1 capful per gallon. That's the easiest way for me to explain it.
And it's 256:1 is the dilution ratio.
Which makes no sense to most people,
Right.
including me, and I've been doing this for a while.
Now, for those of you using the metric system, every 250 milliliters, you put 1 milliliter of that in. So for every liter, you put 4 milliliters.
If I over dilute this, is it the end of the world?
It's not the end of the world, but you actually shouldn't be over diluting. It will cause a bit of streaking and make it a little more difficult to wipe off.
Did you hear that? Ivan is not trying to sell you more product.
No, I'm trying to sell you less.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
And in our wash bucket, we have the new DIY sponge. So DIY sponge, we have red on one side, black on the other. The two foams are different. And the reason we incorporated both foams here is the red is more of a scrubbing. So even though I say scrubbing, it's a little more aggressive foam. The black is a softer, smoother foam. So when you're doing your lowers, when you have insects or whatever, you'll want to use the red side. For the rest of the vehicle, you want to use the black side.
Can I just look at this real quick and
Yeah.
show people inside of the sponge? So is this where the dirt goes? Can you explain how this big red, black, new wash
Yeah,
sponge
exactly.
even works? Because I mean, this is like Ivan's bread and butter. You've been helping design foam wash sponges for years.
Exactly. So what the foam does, if we look at a microfiber towel, so a lot of people do a rinseless wash with a microfiber towel, and that works. But the microfiber towel, the dirt actually stays on the surface. It's not being transported safely. And we have the possibility of pressure points because this is so thin. This, we have a nice thickness to it, so we don't have a possibility of pressure points, and at the same time, we have these slits that help it conform to the surface a little better, and the foam itself is actually bringing the dirt into it. So we never want to take our rinseless wash sponge and take it out of the bucket and just use it like this on the surface. This is actually too much liquid, and it's not helping the rinseless do its job. So we need to actually, one squeeze, just so it's on the verge of dripping. That's when it's ready to use.
So can you explain the shape to me? Am I holding it like this, like this? What's the approach here?
Whatever way you want to.
This feels more comfortable.
Yeah,
Okay.
Everybody's different. So
I'm playing a little bit of a devil's advocate. I know how all this stuff works, but
Yeah.
people at home may have never heard of rinseless before.
Exactly. So you can use it like this or like this, whatever fits your hand better. The other thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be pre-rinsing. We say a rinseless wash, but we're going to be pre-rinsing using the rinseless wash and a sprayer. Now, a lot of people fret about the dilution of the sprayer. How do I dilute this? How much do I need to put in this? It's very simple. Mix up your wash bucket first. Now we have the exact right dilution.
And if you'd like to really overthink it, make sure that your bottle is not full of gunk and dirt from sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
You don't want to contaminate the water. Although the idea with the rinseless is you rub the sponge on the grit guard and the dirt drops to the bottom of the bucket.
Right. So we're going to pump up the sprayer till we hear the little psh from it.
Okay, and this is just an IK sprayer, got them on the website, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You can use a spray bottle at home. We're not trying to sell you the IK sprayer, although they're pretty nice.
Yeah, they are nice. And they're long lasting. So off we go. First step, we're going to pre-rinse to allow the rinseless solution to start emulsifying the dirt, lifting it off the surface.
What does emulsifying the dirt mean?
Breaking it down. So it's taking that big clump of dirt, or dust in this case, and making it smaller and smaller and smaller, and breaking it into smaller and smaller pieces that will safely be removed from the vehicle. The other aspect of that is it's a zwitterionic formula, which means it's not negative nor positive. So the emulsifiers in it are separating on a little ionic cushion the dirt from the paint. It's a really neat thing. If you look it up, it's an interesting Google dive. So we're going to be spraying it on the surface and the wheels and tires as well.
Can I give you a pro tip?
Yes, you can.
All right, so let me grab this IK sprayer.
Yeah.
I did a lot of mobile detailing in Park City, Utah. Snowy, cold, no access to a hose. And so you're doing rinseless washing, you're preparing for polishing. And what you do is you actually turn the nozzle a little bit until it's almost like you have your own little hose, right? So it's a pro tip where if you want to get into these seams, you get the PSI that maybe you're craving from a hose. So if worse comes to worse, we're running out of rinseless here.
Yeah.
But if I just shook it, I don't know why I did that. If worse comes to worse, you've got tips to get, you know, some dirt out of the crannies.
Yeah.
And just a little pro tip.
Exactly. Now, as I mentioned, it's emulsifying, which means breaking things down. The dirt is being, you know, if we look at the dirt as a big piece, a big chunk, well, the rinseless is taking it and breaking it into smaller and smaller pieces. And being a zwitterionic formula, which means neither negative nor positive, it's actually lifting that dirt on a little ionic cushion. And now we're ready to do the wheels. So
Okay.
Nick, you're good at wheels. You enjoy doing wheels.
Ivan likes to get me doing the dirty work here. You need about 18 different brushes for the ultimate wash, right, Ivan?
Exactly,
You
yeah.
don't need 18 brushes. We've pre-sprayed it with rinseless. I've got a rougher bristle brush here. Now you could do an all-purpose cleaner, like our All Clean, first, and then sort of rinse it off with the IK sprayer there, with the rinseless in it. So you'd get a little of that emulsification with the all-purpose cleaner, a little heavy hitter in terms of cleaning, and then rinse it off and then do this process. But I've just got rinseless in the bucket here, softer bristle brush here.
And that's a flag tip nylon brush, so it's extremely safe, even on paint.
That's a separate video, Ivan.
Yeah.
Okay, and then don't forget the calipers if you can reach them into there. It's only a $500,000 car, might as well clean it the right way, right?
Exactly.
Dip it in the grit guard with the rinseless in there. Love the apple smell of our rinseless. And don't forget the barrels. Okay. Why do we clean the barrels, Ivan?
We clean the barrels because we want to. No, it depends on the wheel. You know, if you have a wheel that's very open like this one where you actually see the barrels, it's great to clean the barrels.
What's the longest you've ever seen somebody spend cleaning barrels and wheels?
Oh, hours.
Yeah, people get really into it, but
Yeah.
I think this is a fantastic ultimate rinseless way to do it. I mean, that felt so safe, super clean. Should I dry it down?
Yep, and
Ceramic gloss. Drying aid's gonna add that ceramic protection. I don't want to spray it directly on the rim face because then it gets all in there. And when it's on my towel, it's just a super lubricated drying process. Just into there.
so the rinseless wash is already providing lubrication, and we're adding more with the ceramic gloss. And added protection when we're done.
And now I do want a separate towel to dry down the tire.
Just happen to have one.
It's almost like we're in the DIY detail garage.
Yes, we are.
Okay. What do you think, Ivan?
Looking good.
Okay.
There's another one to do.
Oh man, putting me to work over here.
Now, if you like a soap and water wash, we have another video that our editor is going to link somewhere up here. And that video explains how to do this with a foam cannon and pressure washer and soap and suds, and it's really fun as well. Great video. So depending on your style of washing or what your environment is putting on you. So there are places where you can't pull out the foam cannon and the hose and all that to wash your car, you have no choice. This allows us a choice. Now we're ready to wash. And the nice thing about a rinseless wash as well is you can be termed a precision wash. So you're able to do the wheels, get them out of the way before we even started washing the body.
And we're not getting sloppy soap everywhere with the pressure washer blasting what's on the wheels back onto the paint. It's done.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Wheels
it's
are
clean,
done.
manamal water. That's what I love about it.
And if you're wanting to do tire shine, you'll wait till we're done here. Because yes, there might be a little drip or two going on the wheels.
Okay.
So we're gonna use our wash sponge here, squeezed out just to the point of dripping, and we're ready to go. And I'm not applying any pressure to the sponge. What we're doing here is applying the rinseless. We're not using pressure on the surface. And once you've done a section of the vehicle, dunk, squeeze, and keep moving.
When would you use the black versus the red?
So the black is, as I mentioned, the ultimate in softness. The red is for scrubbing, and not necessarily scrubbing, but it's a little more aggressive foam. So down here where we have the possibility of more dirt, I'll use the red side.
Also on windows, that would make sense if you were trying to scrub into the corners.
Exactly.
Because you're not really worried about scratching windows like you are with paint.
No. Instead of walking back and forth to the bucket, we'll move the bucket with us.
I wish you had a helper to carry the bucket for you.
Yeah. Well, normally, in my shops, we put our buckets on wheels. And it takes about 3 weeks to train a bucket to follow you around the shop, but eventually it does. And
Also, the little top corner there will get inside of handles.
Yeah.
All kinds of nooks and crannies for you.
So it allows us to get in here quite easily. And then we just work our way down the panel.
Always top to bottom, right?
Always top to bottom. And why do we do that, Nick?
Well, I was going to ask you that question because you're doing the rinseless wash tutorial.
Yeah. Well, the reason we go top to bottom is simply we have probably more dirt on the bottom than we do on the top. We want to minimize risk as much as possible. So the way to minimize risk is to go from the cleanest area to the dirtiest area.
I might add, if we were going for the ultimate safe wash, that you would add an extra towel just for the lower dirty panels. Is that going too far?
Maybe a little bit. And now we're ready to dry.
Ceramic gloss in both hands?
Right, ceramic gloss and a proper drying towel.
Now there's a couple different kinds. I like Big Bertha over here.
Yeah, and I like the smaller towel myself, just a little more convenient, especially on a small vehicle like this. That being said, we're going for the ultimate and safe wash. Rinseless wash is a great drying aid by itself. It doesn't need any additional lubrication, but we're giving it additional lubrication just to be safe.
Because this is the ultra safe wash.
Exactly.
All right.
And at the same time, we're going to be providing protection to the vehicle. It's going to be glossier, shinier, and has ceramic protection.
I think ceramic gloss is my favorite product in the line. So I'm a happy
You keep
camper.
saying that, so I'll believe you.
If he says it enough, he surely must be.
So I'm spraying a little bit on the surface and a little bit on the towel, and off we go. And these twist loop towels absorb so quickly that we're not going over the surface 4 or 5 times. We just need to hit it once and it's dry.
I like ceramic gloss on the windows as well.
Yeah. Now,
Box
Nick,
the
I'm
corners.
going to give you a pro tip.
Oh, okay.
Hold my towel.
This is how it always goes.
Yeah.
Nick does all the dirty work.
All right. So when you're using a big towel like this, first of all, you want to fold it. So you had it all bunched up.
Oh, for the windows, I figured I can get a little sloppy on the windows.
So we can fold it up, and now we have a smaller surface to deal with. But if you like keeping it big and open and wide,
It's kind of my personality.
yeah, you can take your towel and you actually hold it at the top and then use the bottom to dry. That way you're guaranteed it's not going to hit the floor.
So this is your anchor point.
This is the anchor
Okay.
point, and this is allowing me to also envelop the mirror in soft, plush luxury towels.
It's almost like you've done an auto detailing training before.
A few.
How many have you done, do you think?
In the thousands.
This guy knows what he's talking about. And I always learn something new from you, Ivan, which I love. Okay, that was easy.
And you'll notice the wheels, so we washed the whole surface of the vehicle. You had done the wheels before. They're still dry.
Yeah, they didn't get wet from our rinseless process.
So there we have it. We have a beautiful Porsche ready to drive away. nice and dry. And ceramic gloss. Thanks for joining us. Have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas? You can comment below. You can give us a thumbs up, and don't forget, you can subscribe.